Hey Jammers, it's Nina here, back to another video. Today I am going to do like a scary story video with my toys, and this is based on a book that I read. It's called Tailypo, a ghost story, and yeah, here it is. And 1, 2, 3, 4. There lived a man in these big woods. He lived in a house with only one room that counted as his bedroom, his kitchen, his living room, and every other room you can imagine. His house was in the forest and near a swamp. He had 3 dogs. Uno, Ino, and Cumtico Calico. It was supper time, and he hadn't got any food left yet, so the old man had to hunt for supper. He got his axe. He got his axe, and he went hunting. "Here, here, here!" he shouted to the dogs. Then the dogs chased supper. But it was just a little bunny. Then he left the dogs back underneath the porch and carried the bunny into his house. He cooked the bunny in the fire. Then he ate it. But sadly, he was still hungry. But it was too dark to go outside and hunt. So he just sat down in his chair and watched the moon through the window slowly come up. As he almost dozed off and fell asleep, he suddenly heard a scratch, scratch, scratch on his house. Then, through a tiny crack in his house, he saw a large tail. Then he quickly got his axe and chopped the tail right in half. Since he was still so hungry, he put the tail in the fire, he cooked it, and he ate it. Now he was fully stuffed, so he went to bed. Then, suddenly, he heard a It sounded like a cat. But then he heard a voice said, "Tailypo, Tailypo, all I want is my Tailypo." Then he said, "Who's there?" He looked everywhere in the room, but couldn't find anything. Then he remembered his dogs outside. So he ran outside and said, "Here, here, here." Then the dogs started to chase the wild thing. Then he knew that the thing would be gone, so he went back to sleep, not caring a bit about his dogs. Then, in the middle of the night, he heard the same scratch that sounded like a cat. Tailypo, Tailypo, I'm coming to get my Tailypo. So scared, the old man called the dogs from his bed. And then Uno, Ino, and Come to Go Calico started chasing the wild thing again. Then the dogs were so fierce that they broke down the fence into the swamp to get that dog. The next towards morning, he thought about his dogs. So he went, and the wind was blowing harder than usual. So he went to look outside and to see where his dogs were and to look at the swamp. But his dogs, there was no trace of his dogs. They were nowhere to be found. All he saw was a swamp. That wild thing must have led the dogs deep into the forest where they would get lost. So sadly, the old man went back to bed. Like, what is wrong with this old man? So he went back to bed, and in the morning he woke up he opened his eyes, the kind of opening eyes as when you know that someone is inside the room with you. Then he heard scratches on the foot of his bed. It was a crazy creature. It had fiery red eyes that stared deep into the old man's soul. Then he heard the thing say in a low voice, "You know, I know, I'm here to get my Tailypo." Then the old man screamed, "I don't have your Tailypo!" Then he started clawing up his bed. The old man put the blankets over his head. And the creepy monster said, "I know you have it." And he started clawing at the old man. And the old man was never to be seen ever again. Neither the dogs. But every time when a kid is sleeping or camping or anything near the fire, when the wind blows and the moon is glowing white in the sky, they can hear a voice in the wind saying, "You know, I know, I'm here to get my Tailypo." Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!